Welcome back, fellow traders. Sive Morten is here with the ForexPeaceArmy.com and our daily update on euro currency. So here is a couple of subjects. Briefly, just about the agreement with the European Union on the tariffs between the United States. Actually, this is the reason of the picture that you could see currently here. Second, technical picture, what we intend to do, what our expectation stands, as usual. So speaking about recent agreement, obviously, this is not really good stuff for industrial sector in the European Union. You could understand it from the comments on the Twitter and in the media. You could see it, but some people tells that it's not done yet because European Parliament and also the Parliament of the particular countries inside the United States have to approve this agreement. But I think that this is just the nominal thing, because what they're gonna do, for example, they will not approve it, and so what? So Donald Trump will offer them something better? Hardly. So they actually have no choice. They could either approve or to get even worse conditions. Speaking about investments that follows to this agreement, the European Union has to buy for 750 billions of the liquid natural gas. That the European Union has to invest approximately the same amount of money into economy. I do not know exactly what the current amount of the purchasing of the LNG stands and what overall investments in the United States economy stand from the European Union. Maybe this difference will not be too big. But overall agreement is not really good. And you can see the current situation in the euro currency. I think that this partially comes from just recent agreement, but partially it comes also from the nominal natural dollar appreciation, because currently Trump, in fact, has completed this long soap opera with the tariffs. He has set all the tariffs already for everybody, and this work is actually done except the China. They have taken some pause. I don't remember exactly. It's for 30 days or 50 days, so it's some pause in the negotiations for further discussion. But for all the others, tariff stands in place, and that's some kind of the achievement. So we already talked about that we're skeptical about this policy. We think that Donald Trump will cancel it very soon as the tariffs will impact on the purchasing power inside the United States and so on. But nominally, he has talked about this and he has done it. So that provides some background for dollar, and you can see the performance. That's what about the tariffs. Now, what do we have on the technical side? I think that this action is very important, just because you could see the strength of this. As I explained, no discussion in the European Union Parliament will change anything. So we could treat it as a final point in this thing. Why this is very important? Because with this type of action, market already stands below the weekly lows. And if you remember, in the weekend, when we talked about weekly time frame, we said this is bullish grabber here. It suggests further upward action. By this action, if market will close somewhere near the lows or below them, grabber will be erased. It means the drastic change in a midterm direction on euro currency. If this will happen, I would watching for an area around 113, 113.40, somewhere near this support area, because this is confluence on the weekly chart. It's actually 1326 at the FIB support, and weekly oversold. That's what will be the next step, and I think that we will get there based on this performance. You could see clear acceleration here compared to this action. So we have this sloped ABCD to the downside, downward, and it usually means that market tries to complete more extended target. That's why I think that reaching of the 1320, 1340 areas or support area that we have are really high. On the 4 time frame chart, you could see how it actually looks like. So here, our hand shorts, it's worked absolutely great. So at least if you even haven't traded, it saved lots of money if you intend to take the long position. So we said, let's see, maybe we'll get slightly more retracement. We thought that maybe that will be just a background for a pullback where we could take the position. We hope that this will be my butterfly. But it was unstoppable drop. No chance to buy. Actual market just erased in the blink of an eye all the support areas that were standing here. And currently comes to OP, first target, 1514. That's great. So we also see that this target stands right at the FIB support, 1537, and we're at a daily oversold area. Great background for a scalp long trade. That's what we could deal with until we're waiting for the next step to the downside. So here, I'm not speaking about everybody. So if you're trading on the daily chart, you're watching for just taking the short position, you should ignore this setup, because this is mostly intraday setup where a short-term trade, scalp trade will be, and if we will get it at all. So maybe this market just would break it down if it really triggered a lot of selling here, despite the oversold conditions on the daily chart. Sometimes it happens. So, but anyway, that's an area to watch for. And here, if you drop your time frame more, you could recognize some patterns that might be formed here. So one thing that you could search for, if you would like to take the short position, you could wait just for a pullback. Here might be the bread and butter sell. We have good thrust down on the hourly chart. Now, by these lows, first FIB resistance 1620. So with this pullback, it might be the chance for selling or just watching for patterns that might be forming here. If you will get here some kind of the minor hand and shoulders patterns or something like this, some bullish patterns will be formed here. Since, as I said, this is relatively strong support area, market could show some reaction, some pullback. It's possible. Just watch for the patterns if you would like to take this trade. Currently, we do not have anything just because market just touched this level. So it needs some time to start some reaction. If you would like to go short, you just sit and wait for this reaction. Waves will start. Then you're watching for just FIB resistance levels. Also here is the 50% around, I suppose, 1645. So that will be the 50% levels also might be considered. You're watching for a potential reversal around this area, because by overall shape and the speed that market shows here, if you take a look on the dollar index there, the more impressive picture. Really big chances that we will see this level. I'm not sure that will happen definitely on this week, but in perspective of one and next week, it's quite possible. So that's our current view on the market. Just keep an eye out, be careful, take care, and see you tomorrow.